Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 10 review. We have already done problems 1, problems 2, and 3. Sorry, problems 2, 3, 4, 5, and on your page, which was number 5, which is my number 6. We only have 2 problems left to do. So make sure you have your graphing calculators out so you can follow along. And let's go ahead and get started. So number 7 says the table of values compares the time in seconds after releasing a yo-yo to the height in feet from the ground. Use your graphing calculator and create a scatter plot. So the first thing you got to do, guys, pause the video and start plugging in all that information. Always make sure that your previous information is deleted. Okay, and go ahead. Okay, so those are the numbers that I have set for my window. And then when you graph it, this is what you get. So is that linear, quadratic, or exponential? That is, yeah, that's quadratic. Okay, so write the equation of the function of best fit, and it tells us that we need to round to the 5th decimal place. So I've got all the points in. I can go to stat, over to calculate. It's quadratic, so I'm going to quadratic regression. Go down and then hit calculate. All right, and it says to round to the 5th decimal. So if you want to pause it so you can copy down the equation, go ahead. I'm going to start writing down that equation. So we get y equals 3.84096 x squared minus 15.458. And guys, when you see this, this was 879. What was it? 879. 86. The way it should have rounded, I think I might have 1 point off. But when you round that, it should be 45880x plus the 17.4862. Okay? So D says, using your equation from part C, at what time will the yo-yo reach its minimum height? All right, so when it's talking like that, we are needing to find the vertex. And remember that the vertex is x equals the opposite of b over 2 times a. So b is negative 15.45880, so I want the opposite of that. So that is 15.45880, all divided by 2 times 3.84096, okay? We talked about this when we were in one of the previous videos, that you have to be careful when you plug that in, okay? So to get your answer, we need to round to the nearest hundredth. We've talked about this. It's the 2nd decimal. And we get that x equals, did you get 2.01? That's rounded, so let's double check that real quick. So, and you're dividing that by 2 times 3.84096. Yeah, that's what I got too. That's a relief. Okay, so now after we take this in, we have to plug it in. Okay, And we're going to go into that huge equation that we just found out, the 3.84096. We're going to take that and square it. So that's a lot of numbers in the calculator, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make you do that. Go ahead and pause the video, plug it in, and see what you get. You should have got that y equals 1.93. Okay? So if it asks you for the point, the vertex would just be that point of 2.01 and 1.93. Okay? But most of the time, we're going to have to write a sentence about that. And so we would say that the yo-yo would reach, or not would reach, it will reach, sorry about that, its minimum height at 2.01 seconds at a height of what? 1.93 feet. Okay, and there you are describing that relationship for me. All right, let's go and flip it over. Last one. So the table of values and scatter plot below compares the age in weeks and the weight in pounds of a baby alligator. All right, so just looking at this, that our weeks are the X and the weight is the Y. Well, let's scroll on down. What does it say? The actual equation represents the equation of the line of best fit is right there. Sweet, so it already told me the line of best fit. Use the equation to calculate the following residuals. Okay, so do you remember what we did when we did this? This was 10.4. So it tells us all the actual information in the top left, but we want to find out what the predicted values are, which means we're going to plug it in to that equation. So let's just go up so we can see it. We'll do two of these together. So we're plugging in 0.26 times 0 plus 5.98. And the reason why I'm using 0 is because we're finding the actual, okay, or the predicted. And when we solve that, I only know this right away. I don't even need a calculator because anything times 0 is 0, and that just crosses out. So we get 5.98. And this last part, to find the residual, we take the actual minus the predicted. Okay? So the actual was 6, so I'm going to take 6 minus 5.98. And then we get our residual of 0.02. Okay? And is that more or less than the predicted value? Okay, it's positive, so it's saying that's more. All right, and if we look at it, that was our first point. Our first point was slightly higher than the line. Okay? All right, let's do another one, just so you get a good feeling about this. So we take the equation first, and we're going to plug in, and we're going to plug in a 9. Okay, because that's our actual. And when it gets predicted, you should be getting 8.3. 2, right? Okay, so we take the 8.6 and we're going to subtract 8.32. So once again, I'm taking our actual and I'm subtracting it from the predicted. And we got 0.28. And is that more or is that less? You tell me what it is. Yeah, that's more. Okay. And once again, you can see that, hey, I got more. Now, looking at these points, you can kind of guess, like this next one should be less. I'm just telling you that by looking at the point. The next one should be more. I'm not sure about the other two, okay? But what you're going to do is you're going to plug in using the equation to each one of those, okay? And then you're going to subtract whatever you get here from there, okay? That's all the help I'm going to give you. Why don't you guys pause the video and finish filling this out. Good luck. Okay, and there's the rest of your answers. Now, that is it for all of Algebra 1 Unit 10 review. Your test is next. So if you have any questions on anything from this chapter, make sure you come in for help. So this is Mr. Grice signing off for Algebra Unit 10 review. Thanks for watching.